So here we are today, working on this Ford van. My wife and I, we've had this since '93. It's a Ford Club Wagon Chateau. It was their top of the line back in '93. The only option it doesn't have is the upgraded stereo. It doesn't have the equalizer on the stereo. Never mind that, because nobody uses those anyway anymore. Trailer hitch, you know. It's been a really good van. It's never been in a wreck. There's no dents in it. It's got some scratches from some bushwhacking. But anyway, it's still a really good van. It took us all the way to Newfoundland last year. 10,000 mile trip. We've been down to Baja, Mexico. We've been all over Canada. It's really a great van. So anyway, the reason I'm here today is the problems we've had in our last few trips is that you turn the air conditioning on and the air conditioner works fine. But when you start going up a hill, you know, you put your foot into the throttle and the next thing you know, the air conditioning quits coming out the vents and it starts going out through the defroster. And I'm telling you, that's no good, because it just doesn't have any effective cooling. The same with the heater. If you're going up a hill, it just pours out the defroster, and again, it's no good. It's just no good. So I got home and I got on YouTube, and there's some really good videos on the same thing here, but none of them go back to 1993. And I can tell you, 93 is a little different than, say, a 97 or a 2002 or a 2008 or 14. So I'm just going to show you the subtle little differences. I'm going to link in the description a really good video to watch, and this guy's, it's very straightforward. You're going to like it. It's easy to follow. I will say you definitely want to get these. They're vacuum connectors. They come with these little connectors here, and you're going to need those to make the connections necessary. So this is a Dorman product. It's part number 47432. Be sure and get some of those. I got them on Amazon. All these parts are going to be about, you know, right around $50. One thing nobody talks about is this. I drilled a hole in the firewall, and that's one of the things. That's the main thing that's different here. This is another Dorman product, 02365. I only had to use one of these. It cost me about $5. I had to use, like, there's one of those right there. It's a 1/4 inch by 1/2 inch. You drill a 1/2 inch hole, and a 1/4 inch hose goes right through there. But that'll protect your hose. The other video, this is the same part for the check valve. Same part number. There's your part number. I'm not going to list it. This is the reservoir. Same part number. Same part number. The 1/4 inch vacuum hose I used, again, on Amazon. Part number 5161 PT. 6 feet of 1/8 vacuum tubing. And along with these, there they go. Yeah, along with these, you're going to be able to make all your connections. I will say again, do not throw your old vacuum hose away, because there's a few connections you're going to need for that. And also this covering, I used some of that too in the engine compartment. So without further ado, the other videos, they'll show you this hose right here that you got to cut. And this is now abandoned. The hose comes back over to right here, and it goes straight back from here. It's easy if you remove the air cleaner. I'm not going to explain how to do that. You got a bolt here, a couple bolts here. Undo the hoses here. Take the whole assembly out of the way, and that way your assistant can get in there and grab a hold of that hose. And what you want to be able to do is over here on the passenger side. You know, the doghouse isn't out of the way right now. It's a pain in the rear. I'm not going to do it again. I'm just going to explain that hose comes back in a bundle, and right up underneath right here, you're going to be able to get back in there, and you're going to find a vacuum hose bundle about that big. It looks just like a wire bundle, but it holds nothing but vacuum hoses. And I can't tell you what they're all for, but you want to get into that bundle and kind of with your partner. Your partner is going to jiggle that hose back and forth, and you're going to be able to figure out which hose it is. And you got to pull that hose out. Pull it out. Be careful not to break it. Be very careful, because I broke mine twice. Nevertheless, I broke it, but I used a vacuum hose and a connector to, you know, just splice it back together. So anyway, you get that hose out, and you're going to hook it up to your vacuum hose, and that vacuum hose basically just drops straight down here, and I got it zip tied to a couple air conditioning lines inside the engine compartment there behind the doghouse. I drilled that. I started off with a 1/8, a 1/4-inch hole here, and then I drilled it up to a 1/2 inch size. So, you know, you can kind of see where that is. You can use your own judgment, but that hose goes in right there. And just be careful on the back side. There is one small wire bundle. Don't drill into that wire bundle. You can reach in there and pull it out of the way. Anyway, that rubber grommet, can you see it? Yeah, there it is. See that rubber grommet? That rubber grommet goes in there, and I used a little, like an ice pick, a 90-degree angled ice pick, to get in there and kind of maneuver it into place. And now that hose is protected. It's not going to, and it's sealed. It seals the hole real nice. So anyway, that you can see that hose runs straight up the side there. It's nice and out of the way. You can see it goes right up here, and it goes up and over. Now this panel here is different. This panel is different than you know, the newer models, and so you just got these two screws, one here, one there. Take those out, and this whole thing pops out towards the rear. Got a clip here and a clip here. You can get in behind there and pry with a screwdriver or something. Just pop that out, pop it out over here. That comes off, and then you can easily get that hose up and over everything right here, and stuff it in behind there, and then it'll drop down. It'll drop down the side here, and it'll come straight down. This is the reservoir. Now that reservoir has got this place right here. I drilled a hole, and that's what secures it in place. It's got a small screw there. Just a small screw. The other one is at a 90-degree angle. So I took a hacksaw and just cut that thing in half. Well, I just cut that other ear off. And now it lays nice and flush up against this wall here. And here's your connections right here, see? Those are the connections. Follow the directions on the other video. You can see how I've got them. This is the one coming from the engine. The one on the back there, that's the one that goes to the floor, and that's the hose that you're going to cut down there. Just follow the guys, follow the other video. There's a hose down there. You gotta cut it. And then the other one will hook up to the reservoir, and you can see here's the reservoir. The connection's going to be back behind here, so everything's back out of the way. This is just tucked up underneath there. Nobody will ever notice it. The big difference, and the reason I'm doing this video, is because you can't put this up here where everybody else says to put it. There's no bolt. You don't drill through there. There's no place to drill there. And for me, I figured the best place to drill it would be right down here. You probably could have done it up here, and it would have been a little bit more out of the way. I suppose you could have drilled one right here, but I did mine here anyway. Live with it. So anyway, that's really all I've got. Again, this is a 1993 van. They started making this series in 1992. So 92, 93, 94, I'm sure are all the same. This is a great van. Let me show you the inside real quick. We've got a queen size mattress in there. We've got, you know, my wife made curtains. You know, it's not, we don't live in it, but we've done a lot of traveling in it. A lot of I raised my family in this van. So, hey, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. I'm going to be making more of these, hopefully, my videography and my narration and all that.